Another season, another slew of anime to clog up my backlog. So far, the fall season of 2015 has been very much unlike summer, which had a large swath of pretty good shows, but nothing really great. No, here there's a few fantastic new shows coupled with a handful of sequels completely propping up the season from the mountains of mediocrity beneath. With 54 shows set to air, there's a lot to catch up on, and in doing so, I've already learned a lot from them. For instance, Perfect Insider has taught me that good mystery anime do exist, and that the girl from the ring is quite the temptress. One Punch Man has taught me that the industry isn't dead, Gundam that Gundam isn't dead, and Diabolic Lovers that my innocence is dead. Osomatsu-san's demonstrated how no one is safe from corporate copyright BS, though I already knew that. Thank you very much, Bandai. Gochiusa has made it loud and clear that I suck at rock, paper, scissors, Heavy Object tells me someone should get fired for naming a show Heavy Object, and Lance and Masks proves that sometimes Mal ratings are accurate. Concrete Revolution has some crazy pretty colors to go along with its pretty crazy plot, while Comet Lucifer has some crazy pretty colors to go along with its pretty crappy plot. Beautiful Bones, also the winner of the Most Generic MC Award, introduced me to the magical world of bone fetishes. At least it's not necrophilia. And finally, Astroscore has taught me that Astroscore is fucking terrible. Then of course, there's the giant wad of sequels I haven't been able to watch because I haven't seen the original. Haikyuu Season 2, Noragami Arigato, Owari Monogatari, Young Blackjack, K Return of King, Seraph of the End Season 2, Utaware Ramono, Fafner, Yuru Yuri, and several others. With so much on the plate and all I'm missing out on, you may be wondering how I'm going to be able to pick 5. Easy. I'll just do what I've been doing my whole life and bum some of the work on someone else. So on that note, Lou from LouTalksAnime has generously decided to come help me with this list. Introduce yourself to the people, Lou.
Hi, my name is Lou, and I'm from LouTalksAnime.
Basically, we're going to break it down so I pick 3 and Lou picks 2. With that, today under the scope, we give you the fall 2015 anime you should be watching. The Perfect Insider, or Subete ga F Ninaru. I'm always on the lookout for a good mystery anime, so when this season gave me 2 of them, I was ecstatic. Beautiful Bones and Perfect Insider could not be more different in the way they handle their mystery, however. The former is more akin to your episodic Western crime procedural like CSI or, well, Bones, while the latter sticks to one mystery the entire series, slowly revealing more and more as the show wears on like a great detective novel. Both series lend themselves to completely different styles of storytelling and character development, and while both do a good job, I just see a bit more potential in Perfect Insider. The story follows a young professor named Sohei Saikawa and his pupil, Moe Nishinazono, as they want to learn more about a genius programmer named Shiki Magata, who's been living in solitary confinement at a research facility for years after allegedly killing her parents. When the two travel to the island to visit her, however, they're instead caught up in a shocking, seemingly unexplainable, closed-room murder case. Perfect Insider has everything you could want in a mystery series, from the intrigue to the well-developed, interesting characters. It's definitely a dialogue-heavy, slow burn at the start, but in this case, that's actually a good thing. The slow pacing lends itself well to the deep character development and gradual setup of the mystery, making the ultimate story all the more thrilling. My only real gripe would have to be some of the pseudo-intellectual ramblings that add nothing, but that doesn't outweigh the positives. To this point, Perfect Insider could go one of 2 ways. It could either live up to the promise of its first half and give us a truly great mystery anime, something that's painfully rare, or it could fall flat on its face. I doubt that'll happen, but we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, Perfect Insider has a lot going for it so far, and is definitely a series you should be keeping your eye on.
Haikyuu Season 2 picks up exactly where the last season left off as it continues to tell the story of the ascent of Karasuno High's energetic and quirky volleyball team. This time on the court, we are treated to a more polished aesthetic coupled with a heavy focus on team members' individual arcs. The only gripe I really have with it, and it's a big one, is that it's done almost nothing to really advance its core narrative, i.e. playing actual matches that matter and will lead to a national championship, as is common in sports anime. One of the biggest draws offered by this sort of genre is the tension that comes from those games and what it feels like when they are in the do or die, life or death situation that is the tournament competition. And frankly, we haven't been given any of that just yet. I still think this show is one of the best things going this season. I just can't help but point out that one grievance. So go watch Haikyuu. It's outstanding, but it's not perfect just yet, but it'll probably get there.
Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. I am a definite casual when it comes to Gundam. I've liked every Gundam series I've seen, but considering I've only seen 2 of them, that's not really saying much. I initially decided to pass on this Gundam show not knowing much about it, but once I heard it was a standalone, I figured I'd give it a shot. I was not disappointed. 300 years after a great war between Earth and Mars, humanity has successfully terraformed and colonized the planet. Iron-Blooded Orphans follows a group of child soldiers working for a security company tasked with protecting the Martian nation of Chryse and its civilians. As pressure to push for independence swells in the colony, the children are caught in the middle of a brutal rebellion and Earth's attempts to squash it. Written by Mari Okada, yes, that Mari Okada, Iron-Blooded Orphans perfectly encapsulates just about everything you'd expect to see in a Gundam series. There's the intriguing political conflict, the incredible character depth, the fantastic action sequences. It's all here and it's all wonderful. The portrayal of child soldiers is painfully realistic. On the one hand, you have the kids themselves, forced into a life they didn't choose, and on the other, there's the men tasked with fighting them. Iron-Blooded Orphans delves into this moral dilemma while providing some serious character growth in the process. If you've never seen any Gundam before, I see no reason why this can't be your start. You don't need any prior knowledge whatsoever to understand it, and it's a great showcase of what you can expect to see in the typical Gundam series. This season has no shortage of mediocre at best mech shows, and Iron-Blooded Orphans stands a clear notch above.
Osomatsu-san is a gag anime reboot of a show that aired in the 1960s, as the same director as Gintama, Yoichi Fujita, and an all-star voice cast bring these insane characters to life. The show's tone meanders from simple crude humor to darker, more profane subject matter, leaving nothing off the table for ridicule. While reference humor does make up a significant portion of the show's jokes, it still manages to keep its humor accessible for people that are unfamiliar with what they are alluding to. The majority of the stories told in Osomatsu-san center around 6 identical brothers, each with their own very different and distinct personality traits, though they do share the common thread that they are all lazy, self-centered neats. The show may be nothing special to look at, but the characters and bizarre situations they find themselves in are enough to keep me watching on a week-to-week basis. I should probably point out that if not for a certain fisting show, this would easily be my anime of the season. It is so good, and not enough people are watching it, and that's a damn shame.
Now, for those of you who have seen my other seasonal videos, you'd know these lists usually aren't ranked. However, for this season, I had a clear number 1. Yes, I'm sure this will come as no surprise to most, but my number 1 anime at the halfway point of the season is Dance with Devils. I mean, One Punch Man. Yes, One Punch Man. The story of the average man named Saitama turned bald superhero with the power to defeat anything with a single punch. His grand quest? To find a worthy opponent actually capable of challenging him. Easier said than done, of course. The story itself has so much potential, and while it could go either up or down from here, there's absolutely zero indication of any drop-off yet, as it only continues to get better and better. The comedy is absolutely fantastic. It's the perfect parody of superhero tropes, and Saitama's personality really drives it. His no-shits-given attitude and overreactions are bloody hilarious. Really, the characters in general are what make the series, though. Obviously, Saitama's amazing, but the extensive supporting cast, brimming with eccentric personalities, gives it a flavor rarely seen in anime, and it's safe to say it wouldn't be nearly as great if it wasn't for that uniquely hilarious personality. Then, of course, there's the animation. The level of detail in every frame, particularly in the action sequences, is mind-blowing. Seriously, you'll be hard-pressed to find many series with higher quality animation. Madhouse knocked this one out of the park. Enough of me gushing about it, though. As a manga reader yourself, Lou, I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it as an adaptation.
One Punch Man is incredibly adapted. It doesn't just copy the manga panel for panel. It takes the spirit of the art and the narrative and communicates it perfectly into the animation medium, and as a fan of the manga, I couldn't be happier with it.
That's good to know. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that One Punch Man has saved the industry or anything, mostly because I don't think it was ever in need of saving, but it's absolutely lived up to the hype and then some from my vantage point. Depending on how it ends, it could be a legitimate Anime of the Year contender, and so far, it's shown no signs of becoming stale. Seriously, if you're not watching One Punch Man at this point, you may need Saitama's help in crawling out from the 1,000-ton rock you've been living under. We'll see just how high One Punch Man can climb, but for now, it's been damn good fun. And that'll do it for us. Thank you so much, Lou, for joining me. I definitely agree with you on Osomatsu-san, and you've given me the motivation to finally sit down and watch Haikyuu. For those of you unfamiliar with his channel, definitely go check it out. Again, it's LouTalksAnime. The link will be in the description, of course. If you're feeling particularly generous and want to help me make better content, please consider checking out my Patreon page. Any help means a lot. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video and feel free to follow me on Twitter at UTS Reviews. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.